The slap echoed through the three-bedroom bungalow in Suralia like a gunshot. Kosarachi's cheek burned, but she didn't cry. At 16, she had learned that tears only made it worse. Good. Foolish girl. Auntie Ngozi, she was never allowed to call her mommy, towered over her in the kitchen, her wrapper tied tightly around her thick waist. You put too much salt in the jollof rice. You want to kill me, ABI. I'm sorry, Ma. Kosarachi's voice was barely a whisper. Sorry. Auntie Ngozi grabbed the pot and dumped the entire contents into the dustbin. 5 hours of work, gone. Cook it again. And use firewood this time. You think say gas cylinder no your father own. But he is my father, Kosarachi wanted to scream. Instead, she nodded and headed to the backyard where the firewood and coal pot waited like instruments of torture. From the living room, she could hear her father, Pastor Joshua Adeyemi, the man who preached about love every Sunday at Victorious Life Ministry, watching television. He had seen everything. He always did. And as always, he would do nothing. The 3 children lounging in the parlor, Auntie Ngozi's kids, Chidra, Emeka, and little Adana, snickered as she passed. House girl, Chidra, the oldest at 14, whispered loud enough for her to hear. That's all you are. That night, after everyone had eaten the food she cooked twice, the second time, Emeka had sneaked into the kitchen and added extra salt again. Kosarachi lay on her thin mattress in the cramped storage room that served as her bedroom. Through the louver blades, she could hear Lagos, generators humming, dogs barking, the distant sound of a bus conductor shouting Oshodi. Oshodi. Enter with your change. She touched the fresh welt on her arm where Auntie Ngozi had struck her with a cane that morning. The long-sleeved church dress would cover it on Sunday. It always did. That was the thing about Pastor Adeyemi's household. On Sundays, they were the perfect family. Sister Kosarachi. Sister Beam from the choir rushed to hug her after service. You're looking so fresh today, oh. Your skin is glowing. Kosarachi forced a smile, adjusting the long sleeves of her dress even though the Lagos heat was suffocating. Thank you, Ma. And Mommy Pastor. Sister Beam turned to Auntie Ngozi, who stood nearby in her elaborate osoebi, smiling like she'd just descended from heaven. You're such a blessing, oh. The way you care for this girl even though she's not your own child, Chai. God will reward you. Oh, my sister. Auntie Ngozi placed a manicured hand on Kosarachi's shoulder, and Kosarachi fought not to flinch. She's my daughter now. Her mother is late, God rest her soul. How can I not love her? The congregation members nodded approvingly. Mother General, you're a good woman. If only they knew, Kosarachi thought, that this same hand had yanked her out of bed at 4 a.m. to scrub the bathroom floors. If only they knew that the loving smile would transform into a sneer the moment they got into the car. Kosarachi. Pastor Adeyemi called from his new Mercedes, bought with church offerings. Come, we are going home. In the car, the mask dropped instantly. You better not disgrace me outside again, Auntie Ngozi hissed, her voice low and venomous. You hear me? If you tell anybody anything about what happens in that house, thunder will fire you. You think say no play? I go finish you. Kosarachi stared out the window at Both Thomas Street, watching Lagos rush by, hawkers selling pure water, Okada riders weaving through traffic, last-mile officials harassing drivers. She wondered if anyone in those cars was as trapped as she was. 3 years clawed by like wounded animals. By 19, Kosarachi had perfected the art of silence. She cooked without complaint, washed mountains of dishes, fetched water from the public borehole 3 streets away, and endured the daily humiliations. Ashawo Pikin. Auntie Ngozi would shout. Your mama die carry her sense go. She born useless Pikin like you. Thunder fire you and your generation. You no go ever amount to anything. You be slave for this house. The children had grown bolder. Chidra would pour Kosarachi's bathing water out deliberately. Emeka would cut holes in her slippers. Adana would add pepper to her food when she wasn't looking and laugh when Kosarachi's eyes watered. And Pastor Adeyemi. He buried himself in his phone, in church activities, in anything that let him pretend his house wasn't a battlefield. One humid July evening, after Auntie Ngozi had forced her to rewash already clean clothes because they don't smell like enough detergent, Kosarachi made her decision. She would leave. She had to. That night, while the house slept, she packed her few belongings into a faded Ghana must go bag, 3 worn dresses, 2 wrappers, her late mother's Bible, and the 3,500 Nigerian nairas she'd managed to save from the 500 Nigerian nairas allowance her father occasionally threw at her. At 5 a.m., before anyone woke up, she slipped out of the house on Adelic Street and walked into the chaos of Lagos. She didn't look back. Oja. Lekki Phase 1. Uncompleted buildings as far as the eye could see, concrete skeletons reaching toward the sky, monuments to abandoned dreams and, I will complete it next year, promises. This was where Lagos hid its forgotten people. Kosarachi found shelter in one such building, sharing space with rats, mosquitoes, and other street people. By day, she hustled. Pure water. Pure water. Cold pure water. She would carry a basin of sachet water on her head, weaving through traffic on Admiralty Way. 50 Nigerian nairas here, 100 Nigerian nairas there. When that wasn't enough, she joined the area boys collecting condemned iron and plastic bottles from construction sites. The sun was merciless. The work was backbreaking. She would return to the uncompleted building each night smelling of rust and garbage, her hands cut and bleeding. But at least no one was beating her. At least she could breathe. After 2 months, she met Amarachi, Blessing, and Queen, 3 girls around her age who had perfected the art of street survival. Fine girl. Amarachi had called out one evening as Kosarachi trudged past with her basin of pure water. You knew for here. They had taken her in, let her sleep in the one-room apartment they shared in a Face Me I Face You compound in Jakande Estate. For the first time in years, Kosarachi felt something close to friendship. Until she realized what her new friends did for a living. Babe, no hookup we they do, Queen explained casually one night as she applied makeup in front of a cracked mirror. We connect with big men. They pay well. Sometimes 50,000 Nigerian nairas for one night. Kosarachi's stomach turned. I can't do that. On. Blessing laughed. See this one, oh. You too holy. We all did the same street, babe. You think say the 200 Nigerian nairas where you they make from pure water go feed you. They tried to persuade her for weeks. Kosi, see your body. See yansh. See breast. You go make money pass all of us. Just try 'em once. But something in Kosarachi, maybe her mother's prayers, maybe sheer stubbornness, refused. I no fit. I go find another way. The friendship began to sour. Her 500 Nigerian nairas weekly contribution to the house upkeep was nothing compared to their thousands. Resentment grew like mold in the humid Lagos air. Then came the afternoon that changed everything. The rain started around 3 p.m., not the gentle Lagos drizzle, but the angry kind that floods streets and turns roads into rivers. The kind that makes you know that God is vexing. Kosarachi was returning from Lekki Market where she'd been hawking when she saw her Ghana must go bag sitting outside the compound gate, already soaked. Her heart stopped. Amarachi, she called out, running to the door. Blessing. Queen. Queen appeared at the door, arms crossed. Behind her, the other 2 stood with identical expressions of finality. Kosi, abeg, we don't tire, Queen said, not unkindly, but firmly. We don't try for you. But you know they contribute well. The money where you they bring no reach anything. We they pay rent, we they buy food, we they do everything. USEF suppose they join us make money, but you dey form say you holy pass. Please, Kosarachi begged, rain soaking through her clothes. I go find better work. I go. We don't decide, Amarachi cut her off. You fit go find another place sleep. We no be charity organization. But it's raining. Now you sabi, Blessing shrugged. You for think am before you dey for Mother Teresa for us. The door slammed. The boat slid home with brutal finality. Kosarachi stood in the rain, staring at her soaked bag, watching her few possessions float in the gathering water. Around her, Lagos continued, Okadas splashing through puddles, people running for shelter, hawkers covering their wares. No one stopped to help. This was Lagos. Everyone had their own problem. She picked up her bag, water streaming down her face, tears or rain, she couldn't tell anymore, and began walking. Where to, she didn't know. She just walked, her slippers squelching through flooding streets, past Jakande, past the roundabout, deeper into the maze of Lekki. By nightfall, she found another uncompleted building, a 3-story skeleton in an estate off Admiralty Way. She climbed to the second floor, found a corner that was slightly less exposed to the rain, and collapsed. The night was the longest of her life. Rain poured through the open roof. Mosquitoes feasted on her. In the distance, she could hear a generator, voices, life, but she was alone, more alone than she'd ever been. God, she whispered into the darkness, her voice raw. If you dey there, I beg you. Show me say I no do mistake by leaving that house. Show me say better thing they come. The rain was her only answer. 2 weeks later, Kosarachi had established a routine of sorts. She would wake at dawn in the uncompleted building. She'd found a slightly better spot on the 3rd floor, bathe using water from a nearby tap, and head out to Oso. Pure water. Iron collection. Sometimes she helped at a local buka, washing plates for 500 Nigerian nairas and a free meal. It wasn't much. But it was hers. The uncompleted building had become home to about 7 other street people, mostly boys, a few girls. They looked out for each other in the wordless way of people who understood struggle. No one asked questions. No one judged. On a Tuesday night in September, Kosarachi returned from selling pure water to find the building buzzing with unusual energy. Wetin happen? She asked Ibrahim, one of the area boys. You know here. Them rob one big man house for that estate. He pointed toward the finished part of Lekki Phase 1. No big robbery oh. Them say the man lost like 80 million Nigerian nairas, money, gold, laptop, everything. Kosarachi's stomach tightened. Okay. Police go soon start today patrol here, another boy, Benga, added nervously. You know say anytime rich people get problem, now we street people them go first blame. He was right. The next morning, 3 police vans rode into the area like military invasion. The siren alone scattered half the street people into the wind. Everybody come out. A fat police sergeant with a scar on his face bellowed. All of una wey dey here, come out. Come out now. They rounded up everyone, Ibrahim, Benga, Kosarachi, and about 15 others. Their hands were bound with rope, and they were herded into the back of the police van like animals. Officer, I no do anything oh, one girl cried. Shut up. A constable slapped her. All of una no thief. Una things say we no know. Panti police station in Yoba. If you've never been arrested in Lagos, you don't know how the system can crush your spirit in minutes. They were thrown into a holding cell, a concrete room barely big enough for 5 people, now crammed with 20. The heat was suffocating. The smell of urine and unwashed bodies was overwhelming. A single bulb flickered overhead, casting everyone in sickly yellow light. Wetin we go do? Benga whispered, panic in his eyes. Pray, Ibrahim said grimly. Hours passed. Then a day. Then 2. No food except the stale bread and water they were occasionally thrown. No lawyer. No phone call. Just waiting. On the third day, the fat sergeant came to the cell. All of una go do DNA test, he announced. We go match una DNA with wetin we find for the crime scene. If your DNA match, you don't go jail sotey your mama go forget your name. DNA test. Kosarachi had heard about it on TV but never imagined she'd be part of one. They were taken in groups to a medical room where stern-looking nurse swabbed their cheeks with cotton, sealed the samples in plastic bags, and sent them back to the cells. Results go come in 2 weeks, the sergeant said. Make una dey pray say una DNA no match anything for that house. 2 weeks in that cell was hell. Kosarachi lost weight. Her skin broke out in rashes. She prayed prayers she didn't even know she remembered. But when the results came, everything changed. Kosarachi Adeyemi. The voice jolted her awake from fitful sleep on the cell floor. It was the fat sergeant, but his demeanor had completely changed. He wasn't sneering anymore. Follow me, he said, almost respectfully. Heart pounding, Kosarachi followed him out of the cell, ignoring the confused looks from the other detainees. They walked through the station's dingy corridors to a small office where 2 men in expensive suits waited, one young, one older, both wearing the kind of watches that cost more than her entire life. Sit down, the older man said gently. He had kind eyes behind his glasses. My name is Barrister Emeka Okafor. This is my colleague, Barrister Chidi. Kosarachi sat, heart hammering. I no thief anything, sir. I swear. We know, Barrister Emeka interrupted gently. You're not in trouble. In fact. He exchanged a glance with his colleague. This is going to sound unbelievable, but your DNA test revealed something extraordinary. Sir. Your DNA was run through the national database, standard procedure for all major crimes. It flagged a match. He pulled out a folder and slid it across the table. A match with Chief Adewale Okonkwo. The name meant nothing to her. Kosarachi stared at the photograph in the folder, a distinguished-looking man in his 60s, smiling confidently at the camera. Who is he? He was one of the wealthiest businessmen in Lagos. He died 5 years ago. Barrister Emeka leaned forward. And according to your DNA, there's a 99.97% probability that Chief Adewale Okonkwo is your biological father. The world tilted. But my father is Pastor Joshua Adeyemi. No, Barrister Chidi spoke for the first time, his voice firm but not unkind. Pastor Joshua Adeyemi raised you, but he is not your biological father. Kosarachi's hands began to shake. I don't understand. Barrister Emeka opened the folder wider, revealing documents, old photographs, letters, medical records. Chief Adewale had an affair with a woman named Oluchi Nwosu 20 years ago. She was his secretary. She got pregnant. He gave her money to handle it. He paused delicately. But she didn't terminate the pregnancy. She kept the baby, and shortly after, she married Pastor Adeyemi. My mother, Kosarachi whispered. Oluchi. She died when Kosarachi was 7. Cancer. Everything was spinning. But why didn't she tell me? We don't know. Maybe she wanted to protect you. Maybe she was ashamed. Maybe she truly loved Pastor Adeyemi and wanted to give you a stable home. Barrister Emeka's voice softened. What we do know is this: Chief Adewale died without any known legitimate children. His will explicitly states that if any biological child is ever discovered through DNA evidence, they would inherit his entire estate. Estate. The word felt foreign on her tongue. Yes. Barrister Chidi slid another document forward. Properties in Lagos, Abuja, and Port Harcourt. Business investments. Bank accounts. Shopping plazas. Land. He paused. Worth approximately 2.5 billion Nigerian nairas. The room went silent except for the whirring of a ceiling fan. 2. Kosarachi couldn't complete the sentence. Billion, Barrister Emeka confirmed. You're a billionaire, Miss Okonkwo. Miss Okonkwo. Not Adeyemi. Okonkwo. I think I'm going to faint, Kosarachi said. That's understandable, Barrister Emeka said kindly. But there's more you need to know. He pulled out another document, and this one made Kosarachi's breath catch. Among Chief Okonkwo's properties is a piece of land in Surale, Adelik Street. A bungalow has been built on it. The current occupant has been paying rent to the estate for 15 years. Who? But even as she asked, she knew. Pastor Joshua Adeyemi. He rents that property from Chief Okonkwo's estate, from your estate. He has been renting it all along. The irony was so sharp it could cut diamond. All those years of being treated like a slave in a house that belonged to her. There's more, Barrister Chidi continued. The land where Victorious Life Ministry is built. Also Chief Okonkwo's property. Your property. Kosarachi began to laugh, a slightly hysterical sound that made both lawyers exchange worried glances. Miss Okonkwo, are you alright? My whole life, she managed between laughs that were sliding into tears, I was suffering in my own house. I was homeless on streets in a city where I own buildings. She looked up at the lawyers, tears streaming down her face. Is this real? This is not dream, ABI. It's very real, Barrister Emeka assured her. And we're here to help you claim what's rightfully yours. The next 6 months were a whirlwind. Barrister Emeka and his firm initiated court proceedings to formalize Kosarachi's inheritance. Chief Okonkwo's extended family, cousins, nephews, distant relatives who had been circling the estate like vultures for 5 years, suddenly materialized to contest the claim. This girl is a fraud. Where she come out from suddenly? We are the rightful heirs. But DNA doesn't lie. And Chief Okonkwo's will was ironclad. While the court case proceeded, the estate released an advance payment to Kosarachi, Nigerian naira 50 million, for immediate needs and living expenses. 50 million naira. Kosarachi, who had celebrated finding 100 Nigerian nairas on the street a few months ago, now had 50 million in her account. She could have gone wild. Bought a Benz. Moved to Banana Island. Stunted on Instagram. But street life had taught her something valuable: money that comes easy can go easy. Instead, she invested. With Barrister Emeka's guidance, she started small. Kosa Hair, a hair extension business. She rented a shop in Yoba Market, bought stock from reliable dealers, hired 2 girls to help. Within weeks, word spread. Her hair was quality, her prices fair, her customer service impeccable. Money began flowing. Real estate, she bought a small property in Ikorodu, a face me I face you compound. Fixed it up. Rented it out. The monthly rent covered her expenses and then some. Kosa Kitchen, a restaurant in Lekki Phase 1. She hired a fantastic chef, served proper Nigerian food, jollof rice that didn't play, egusi soup that made you slap your mother, in a good way, pounded yam that was actually pounded, not the powdered nonsense. Lagos people noticed. They came. They spent money. She put managers in charge of each business, got weekly reports, and reinvested profits. By month 4, she had stopped counting in thousands and started counting in millions. She also transformed herself. Not in a fake, who I was versus who I am now, Instagram way, but genuinely. She took computer classes. Learned proper bookkeeping. Hired a financial advisor. Read business books. Went to church, not her father's church, but a quiet one in Lekki where nobody knew her, and she could actually pray. She moved into a modest 2-bedroom flat in Oja, not the most expensive area, but clean, safe, hers. She furnished it simply but comfortably. For the first time in her life, she had her own bed, her own kitchen, her own bathroom that nobody could lock her out of. She bought clothes, nothing extravagant, but quality. She took care of her skin. Her hair started looking like the successful young woman she was becoming. And one day, 6 months after that DNA test in Panti police station, Barrister Emeka called. Miss Okonkwo, congratulations. The court has ruled in your favor. Everything is officially yours.